Zerbiak. So, guys, the Knicks, Monica led 1-0, and that was it. They trailed the rest of the game.
Not good. Not what you wanted to see after already starting this road trip off sluggish. I think the start, again, continues to be concerning, and this was an example of a team that did not relinquish the lead. They were very aware of what happened the last time these two teams met in terms of giving up that 18-point lead, and they didn't give it back. Again, Pito, though, the common theme for me when this team doesn't play well, Wally, is they don't shoot the three ball well, and it affects everything. Tonight they shot just 29.4%, 10 of 34, not good.
Yeah, and it was just uninspired effort on the defensive end of the floor. You know, Kevin Durant looked like a man on a mission. He just looked motivated. He looked like he was really into the game. He was chirping the Knicks bench. He looked like he wanted to win. And the Knicks just didn't look like they offered any resistance and fight in this game. Getting off to the 22-5 start, you mentioned that. And then the rest of the game, they made a couple pushes. I think Alvarado looked like he was getting after it on defense. Jordan Clarkson looks like the most active defender right now. He looks like he's playing to earn minutes.
Yep.
And he looks like he's giving max effort when he's out there on the floor defensively. Some of the other guys, they just don't look like they're engaged right now. They look like they're going through the motions at times, and they look like they're trying to fast forward to the playoffs. Now, can they flip the switch and turn it on? We shall see. But that was just very uninspiring, and it looks like Mike Brown's looking for answers on the sideline.
Jalen Brunson, a minus 26, tied for the worst plus-minus he's had in a Knicks uniform. Monica, it seemed like Houston's size. They're very big, very athletic. It seemed like that really gave Brunson problems tonight.
Yeah, Amen Thompson is the twin brother of Asar Thompson, who is a guy that has studied to be able to guard Jalen Brunson well. Not that he stops him all the time, but he's talked a little bit earlier this season. And so those young men, the Thompson twins, are literally cut from the same cloth. I thought Amen Thompson did a really good job tonight. I thought the Rockets, in terms of their game plan, there were spots where we saw Kevin Durant guarding Jalen Brunson. They understood that if you take out Jalen Brunson, you're going to give yourself the best opportunity to win. And this is, as Wally mentioned, we are heading to the postseason. This is what you're going to see over and over, and teams are going to scheme around how you slow Jalen Brunson, and then they'll figure out the rest from there, because through this season, typically, the formula has been when Jalen Brunson plays well, the Knicks are in the best position to win a ball game.
Yeah, they need him. You can tell, because, you know, you would hope on a night like tonight, maybe Bridges or Anunoby would step up, but Bridges took only 4 shots, and OG Anunoby took 9 shots. Like, OG had good looks. He just was a little off from the three-point line. He's a guy that's going to kind of get him throughout the rhythm of the offense. But Mikal Bridges can create a little bit. He can look to attack and maybe step up when Jalen Brunson's getting suffocated by a bigger defender and they're taking the ball out of his hands. That was just a weird effort, and I think, you know, this team's really missing Shamet. I don't want to say, you know, but his kind of energy that he plays with on both ends of the floor, it's infectious when he gets the ball on offense. Shot quick, which is huge, or he moves it. Everything he does, it has pace, has quickness, has energy to it. And then defensively, obviously, he's very important, because when he's out there on the floor with Jalen, he really helps, you know, that backcourt kind of solidify stuff defensively. So they need him back soon, because, you know, they're not looking too good against good teams in the last 5 games.
Mike Brown said pregame Shamet is back practicing and scrimmaging. Hopefully he's back playing soon. He's been out since March the 20th. Steve Novak helped call the game right here on MSG with Tyler Murray. Steve, it's all your fault.
I always appreciate being able to take a little bit of the blame. It definitely was none of the shot missing or anyone else's fault, so I apologize. But I do have to say, I really do agree with what Wally was saying. I think a guy like Landry Shamet in the last 3 games, when you think about an OKC, a Charlotte, and the game tonight, the shot making and just the chaos that a guy like that creates when he's running off of screens and the defenses are, you know, trying to adjust to that kind of movement, Steph Curry-esque, just the distraction that a guy like that is, along with, honestly, Deuce McBride. He's not himself yet. Once he's making shots, I think those 2 guys off the court or not playing as well or on the court make a huge difference. So I do think it is my fault, but I also hope that when Deuce McBride and Landry Shamet get back, that it makes a big difference, because there's something missing right now.
Yeah, I agree. It's not your fault. There's just it just looks like the guy's facial expressions just a little uninspiring at times, and it's a little scary and alarming. I mean, there are some guys, it seems like Alvarado, when he's out there, he's looking to kind of inject the team with some energy, and same with Deuce. Deuce is trying. You know, it's not easy coming off that injury, as we know. 1 for 9, though, he's not getting it done. And you know Mike Brown's going to give him an opportunity. So, you know, what do you think happens when Shamet comes back in the lineup?
Well, I just think because he proved that when he's out there, he makes so many good things happen. And I do think by so many good things happen, I just mean you look at the scoring that happens when a guy like that's on the court. You're trying to find the right groups. We're at the point in the season, to me, where you're just trying to find the right groups that play well together. You don't care if it's big bigs with Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns out there. You don't care if it's a bunch of small lineups. You just want groups that are better than whoever you're going against, because to me, this is a team that their identity has become they're a really elite offensive team. Right now, we're not seeing that, and I do think, obviously, a Landry Shamet coming back and being very much himself, hopefully, is what's going to be needed. But I really do. I think Deuce McBride is just as big a part of that, because it's shot making, and we're looking at games of 103, 108 points, and that's nowhere near November, December, where this team averaged 122. So we are watching something different right now, but it's just a couple guys who need to get back in rhythm, who have been hurt. It's not guys not playing well or not wanting to, in my opinion. So those guys getting healthy is going to be a big deal.
I got to ask the two of you, Novi and Wally, though, because if I did not know that today's date is March 31st, that looked like a January 31st sort of performance pushing toward the All-Star break. And so when we talk about this opportunity, 6 games left now in this season, the playoffs around the corner, I hear you guys on trying to figure out lineups, but is that what should be happening at this point in the calendar?
Well, Shamet has been hurt and Deuce has been out.
I understand that, but you feel me, Novi? Like, I understand that.
Well, I think the rotation is going to be cut down to 8, maybe 9.
Okay.
At most, come playoff time. Steve, you know, Mike Brown is going to be like, okay, I've given all these lineups a bunch of attempts. I'm going with what I believe and I trust is going to get it done in a playoff series type scenario. Until someone doesn't get it done in a game one and you lose, then you change the rotation. You give guys other opportunities. But right now, I mean, Mike Brown just has a hodgepodge of stuff going on. There's nothing that is really sticking, in my opinion. And he's got his work cut out for him to kind of narrow into a lineup that really he's going to trust going into the playoffs, that he feels can get the job done.
Yeah, he does. And look, I do think we need to give Mike Brown and his staff a little more credit. I know it's our job to speculate and to figure out if there is something really going on behind the scenes. But I do think when you think about who Coach Mike Brown is, why he was brought here, and why he's the head coach of this team, it's because he was going to do things a little bit different this year. He was going to use a little bit bigger rotation. He was going to get the starters' minutes down. And we have seen some big lineups, just last game against OKC, where it was Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns, have a ton of success. And then honestly, you went away from it for a little bit, and it made me think, does he have a plan that this regular season isn't going to quite show all the way yet? Does he already have a pretty good feel for some of those rotations that he likes, that he doesn't want to fully show, some of the big lineups that he doesn't want to fully show? So this is a guy who was on 3 Golden State champion teams as an assistant coach, took the Cleveland Cavaliers to the NBA Finals with LeBron James. He's seen the greatest of the great, and he's won at the highest level. And so I just tend to think that he might be preparing for the postseason, because that is why he was hired, was to win in the postseason. The regular season, I know it matters somewhat, the seeding, but I do think he knows what the heck he's doing.
Okay.
All right, Steve, you're a good sport. We love having you on. We'll talk to you tomorrow. You're going to come on with us tomorrow night, aren't you?
You're a great analyst, too.